Okay, in this video we're going to be taking a look at an air fryer. Check out a couple of images that'll give you a little more detail, then we'll talk more about it. Alright, so in this video we're taking a look at an air fryer. So as you can see right here, we have the air fryer with a little instructional manual that gives you information on what's included, what the parts are, how to clean everything, cooking times, and it gives you some information about the actual touch panel right here, digital touch panel, which makes it very simple to use. A lot of presets also, of course, is going to simplify the process. So very good little user guide though if you run into an issue where you need to refer to this. I'll set it to the side. I don't know if you can see it, but over there is a more traditional style air fryer that you have the basket that pulls out and you have to flip the food. Now with this one you can flip the food and it probably would be better, but you don't necessarily have to as much as you would with the basket style. So that's a little bit of an advantage I think with this type of cooker. The other thing is you may have more space because of the type of layout that it includes, so you have to keep that in mind. Now I have the door off right now just to show you the door is removable for easy cleaning. This thing is made really well. It has some rubber little stoppers on the bottom. There's little holes right here, and that basically engages these little pieces down here, and there is a little spring-loaded release mechanism on the left-hand side, so if you pull that towards the right-hand side, the door can pop off, making it, again, very easy for cleaning purposes. So I wanted to have that off just to show you. As far as the cooking goes, you have it's actually a pretty substantial metal with holes in it. So this is a cooking rack that you can use. I would say this would probably be really good if you were going to do burgers or steaks, things like that. So it's probably going to be easier to clean as well than the racks, which I'll get to in just a second. So this type of rack is included. I'm very grateful because, again, this could also be used for something larger like a steak or a hamburger or something like that, and they're very easy to clean because of the design. You don't have to worry about things. There's less surface area touching your food. So depending upon what you like, whether you want it to be more open or a little more closed in, you can choose between these two for some of the larger items. At least that's how I use it. And this is a really cool thing because you don't always get this, and obviously you don't have this with the typical drawer pull-out type of air fryer. This is just a little fry basket, and it's really nice and it works really well for a lot of different things like chicken nuggets or something like that that would be smaller, that might fall through some of the other holes, shrimp, things like that. But I can say that if you do cook certain foods like, let's say, chicken breast, there's a potential that it could stick a little easier to this wire mesh and get stuck in the grooves. So a little more effort, a little more time is required to clean these type baskets or these type wire mesh designed racks and baskets. So keep that in mind depending upon what you're cooking. And even though it's a oil-free alternative, you could lightly maybe wipe some oil on it to help with the cleanup a little bit. So up to you on that one. Now you have your drip tray right here. One really good tip is to wrap this in aluminum foil, but wrap it tightly so that it can't be blowing around when the fan is circulating the hot air, so it stays in place. But that'll make cleanup a lot easier, but it's a very solid metal, so you shouldn't have any problems with it. Now the unit itself, extremely shiny on the inside. There's a fan up top, and that's going to circulate all of your hot air so it cooks the food. On the front you have your time and temperature, and you hit each one corresponding to which one of course you want to make adjustments to with the plus and the minus, and you'll see the temperature and the time displayed. Temperature on the left, time on the right. You also have your power, your play pause, so you can actually pause the machine. If you open the door, it can pause, and then you can put the food in. If you can flip it over, put it back in, do what you need to do, maybe add some seasoning, what have you, throughout the cooking process, and it'll resume back. If you leave it open for more than 10 minutes though, the machine will automatically shut off, and when you close it back, it'll just restart. You have all your different presets on the front for a multitude of different things. So if you're doing vegetables or chicken wings or steak, as just a few examples, you can click on that. It's going to give you a pre-programmed temperature and time. Proceed to cook the item, and then it will ding when it's over. And then just keep in mind, once it is over, the machine will continue to run because it's actually circulating air to cool itself down. So you can remove your food, or if you want to cool it off a little bit and maybe cook it a little bit longer, you could leave it in there. But keep in mind, when the ding happens, the unit will continue to make some noise as the fan circulates. On the top, you have a cutout up here that you want to make sure stays clear, so don't put anything on top of the unit. That also goes for the back. There's a vent here. You want to make sure that's not up against the wall so that it can breathe without issue. And on the bottom, you have some nice soft rubber feet, so you shouldn't damage or scratch your countertops. You don't have to worry about anything in that regard. So it takes a little bit of time to get familiar with how that release mechanism works, and you don't have to use that, but you can. It's obviously much easier if you bring it closer to the end of the table, which the instructional information included actually describes. So here's your display on the front. As you can see, bright, vivid numbers. If I hit French fries, 390, 10 minutes, automatically it's going to be ready to go. If I hit light, I can turn on the interior light, and if I hit start, it's going to begin the cooking process. It's actually not very loud at all, so it shouldn't really be something that disturbs anyone. Of course, you can pause that, and you hear it still running. It's cooling itself down even though it just initialized, because it always has that sort of pre-programmed cool down stage. But you also have a dehydrate function. Pretty good beeping sound. So you have a dehydrating function as well. But the sound is very low compared to a lot of things that you cook with. Also, you're not going to heat your entire home up as much. And it's relatively small, so it fits in a smaller area, which is really nice. I can adjust the time. I can touch the temperature. I can adjust the temperature. So it's very easy. Go ahead and shut that off. And you see it shuts off automatically when you open the door. So that's pretty much it as far as the actual unit. I just wanted to give you a quick overview, talk to you a little bit about the functionality, and other than that, I want to do a quick test with the weekend coming up. I'll probably just wait until then and show you some food that's been cooked with this and just give you an opinion on what I think, because, you know, got the 4th of July weekend, probably do some hamburger, hot dog, one of the two, both, I don't know. But by any means, I'll show you a quick demonstration of what it looks like with the food and when it's finished and what the food looks like, and then after that if you want to find out more, there's a link below the video. You can check that out. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Alright, so for a quick test, we're going to use fish sticks. One thing I did notice, when you turn the light on, it doesn't stay on very long. So it lights up, and very short period later, it turns itself off. Oh well, you can see that, but they're browned up, look nice and crispy. It's a nice crispy, just the way I like it. Doesn't appear to be dried on the inside either. That's pretty much perfect. So, fish sticks work. Alright, so let's try French toast, similar to waffles. Heat and eat French toast, waffles. Not the perfect solution, definitely works, and it seems to be good enough. It's a nice brown, crispy look. Alright, so let's give it a quick test with waffles. That should go pretty quickly. Alright, so preheat or heat and eat pre-made blueberry waffles. They came out sort of crispy and a little bit brown. Not as much as a regular toaster oven perhaps, but more of an experiment, and I don't really have a toaster available. So waffles, kind of a success. Might take a little practice. Maybe it needs a little more. But yeah, waffles work.